right here.
Not that kind of pot, you knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Overview of training camp practice. Try to get back on track here. We're running out of time. I told the guys we'll do a 40-minute episode tonight.
Yeah. Sorry, Mandy.
Yeah. So the Green Bay Packers held their 12th practice, blah, 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 right, which was scaled back after a long Wednesday session. Players wore shells instead of full pads. Somebody zap that bot for me.
Got him.
Starters are expected to play at least a little in Saturday's preseason game against the New York Jets, but all-pro safety Xavier McKinney will not due to a calf injury. So, again, I would be surprised if Jordan Love goes out there and plays a series, although it sounded like Matt was trying to give that impression. I just wonder if it's kind of what we were talking about, that he wants the guys to be ready. We'll see what happens, though. I'm not opposed to them playing a series for sure. McKinney described the injury as lingering, but said he'd be ready for week 1, emphasizing a cautious recovery plan. Now, Packer lineup notes, offensive line with Jenkins and Walker out. So keep in mind, you're missing your starting left tackle and your starting center. This is how the offensive line lined up. Left tackle Jordan Morgan, left guard Aaron Banks, center Jacob Monk, right guard Sean Ryan, right tackle Zach Tom. Banks was pulled for Donovan Jennings after a false start. So Donovan Jennings seems to be next in line to play guard if you're down a body, okay, at the guard position, if that makes sense. And we are down a body at guard because Jordan Morgan had to play left tackle in Rasheed Walker's place. Coach LaFleur on Morgan at left tackle. Some good plays, but needs improvement, valuable exposure as a young player. Talking about Jordan Morgan. Okay, got it. Cornerbacks, Hobbs out, Keyshawn Nixon resting. So the number 1, so keep in mind, Keyshawn Nixon was resting. And that did not get mentioned earlier on the radio. I was listening, and they were saying, man, here's your number 1s. Carrington Valentine and Bo Melton. I went, holy cow, did Bo Melton skyrocket to the top of the depth chart here? They conveniently didn't mention that Keyshawn Nixon was resting, and that's a big role. Plays a big role there. So with Hobbs out and Keyshawn out, it was Carrington Valentine and Bo Melton. Melton viewed it as an opportunity to prove himself against a talented offense. Safeties, McKinney was out, so the number 1s were Evan Williams and Javon Bullard. There you go. Okay, so Javon Bullard stepping in as safety number 3. So he's definitely kind of in place of whichever safety is going to get pulled there if somebody breaks a shoelace or something. It also says in nickel, Zane Anderson at safety with Bullard in the slot. So it sounds like the depth chart right now at safety is Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard, Zane Anderson. Is that how you guys are seeing that too? But I think Katano Ladapo's out though, right? So we don't get a true gauge of that, do we? So
yeah, no, I think that is right, because we want to get Bull down there in the nickel, and yeah, we still need a safety out there. Zane is going to be our man for now, but I do hope Home Depot can get out there and do his thing.
Do you guys see a world where, with an injury situation or whatever the case may be, that you could slip Catan on the practice squad, or possibly a Zane Anderson, and then get a guy like Omar Brown on the squad? Like,
I'm personally not buying into the Omar Brown hype. That's just me. I could be wrong. But the thing that worries me about that, Jake.
Get him, Tim. Get him.
We had Katano Ladapo as the 3rd best safety in the draft.
Yes, we did.
Right. And it's obvious the Packers thought pretty highly of him too. Right. So there's probably another team, if they're light at safety, right, what they're going to do is go back to their draft board, go back to their draft analysis and go, okay, what other safeties were we high on in the draft? Are any of those guys available? Oh, look, Oladapo's on a practice squad. Now, I say that because Omar Brown on our board, and I'm not saying it's more important than anything else, but Omar Brown on our board is way down the list, right? I want to say what we might have said 299. I'm trying to think here, but he was way further down. Yeah, way down the list, like 3/4 of the way down the list here in terms of safeties. So I'm not saying Omar Brown can't go on to be a great player in the NFL, but if you're asking me, Jacob, and I may have misunderstood your question, if you're asking me would I keep Omar Brown over Oladapo, absolutely not.
No, that's not what I meant. I just meant if injuries happen and you do think that you could slip a guy, like if Keaton is hurt or if Zane is hurt, do you think that you could sneak them out of the practice squad without them getting snatched?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah. Both of them, even Zane?
Zane, you got a better shot, I believe.
Yeah.
Zane would be the one I don't know though, man. Omar
I could
Brown
see a team wanting to pick him up though.
You see, he's got a PFF grade in the 80s. You know what I mean? People like the first thing they do is Google his name. Oh, he's got an 80 PFF grade. Okay.
Yeah, but think about it. Zane Anderson was on a roster before Omar Brown. Omar Brown was available, and there weren't teams going, "Hey, let's put him on our 53." So that's going to come into factor too, I'm sure.
And Omar Brown was a UDFA, right?
No, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I was thinking of Kamal Haddon. I think it was Kamal Haddon. That was a second-round pick by Kansas City.
Yep.
All right. Next, linebackers. Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper as every down starters. Let's go. Battle for the third spot between Isaiah McDuffie and Isaiah Simmons. That's two guys to watch Saturday night. Isaiah McDuffie and Isaiah Simmons. That's going to be a fun to see them on the field playing in preseason. In the nickel, it was Cooper and Walker first, then Cooper and McDuffie, then Simmons and McDuffie. So it seems like McDuffie is above Simmons on the depth chart right now. Am I reading that wrong, guys? Because I know there's a couple of days where Simmons was it felt like he was over top of him. Tim, you're there, boots on the ground. Yeah. If you had to guess, and again, nobody's going to hold your feet to the fire, would you say Isaiah Simmons or Isaiah McDuffie is the number 3 line?
Number 3 right now, I'd say McDuffie. Okay. With Simmons breathing down his neck for that, competing for that spot. And this is what we talk about. This is the type of competition you want in a camp. It's going to make your room better. But yeah, I would agree that Zay McDuffie's got a little bit of an edge over Isaiah Simmons right now. That's why, to your point, let's keep an eye on this Jets game here on Saturday. See what these guys look like out there. I think there's a strong chance that both of these guys make this football team for sure. Mm-hmm. The question is who's where on the depth chart. And I think if it was today, I think it's Zay McDuffie right now. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I can see that. Dennis Shook says Simmons has been a pleasant surprise. He really has, man.
Yes.
When we signed him, when the Packers signed Isaiah Simmons, the Packer fan base went crazy. And I don't know if you remember, Emilio, I was kind of like, come on, guys. There's a reason he's available and he's making such little money, right? Mm-hmm. But boy, oh boy, did he not flash in camp early.
First round, 8th pick for a reason, right? He had the talent, skills, everything, but it just hasn't worked out what they've asked him to do in other places. Is this another, time where the Packers found out the right spot for him and just let him do his thing? Possibility. But Tim, to your point, I love that they're both pushing each other. Both Isaiahs are, hey, I want that spot. Hey, I want that spot. We're just going to compete until the coaches decide who wins, right? We're just going to give it our all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chase Green in the chat says Simmons was signed to tackle Barkley and Gibbs. There you go, man. There you go. Two over this makes a good point. He says Kenny supposedly said the starters were basically told they were playing. Matt was probably fuming about that. I bet he wasn't happy about that for sure. But again, I think that's the plan, man. Everybody's prepared to start. You're going to see them suited up on the sideline, whether they go in or not, right? So, tell you what I'd like to see. March that number 1 offense out there, whoever's healthy. Let Jordan Love drop back. Hit Matthew Golden for about a 65-yard tutter and get them all off the damn field. That would be absolutely awesome.
Go. Yeah. Let's go. Flea flicker on the first play. Let's go.
Yeah. Here's a great quote. This was Bill Huber's quote of the day. Josh Jacobs on needing preseason carries. Quote, I feel like it depends on what situation you're really in. If you've been in the system, if you're a new guy coming in, trying to make the team, all those kinds of things kind of play a factor into playing in the preseason. But for me, knowing this offense going into year 2, just really feel like I'm hitting my stride. I don't know if I'm too much worried about it. Obviously, I do need to get tackled a couple times to see if I'm ready for it. But, yeah, I think that's about it. So he's kind of – sounds like you, Tim, right? Right in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Yep. In between, so. I agree. I think it's a good look. I mean, you have to watch load management with a guy like Josh Jacobs. Let's be real; he's going to get a lot of carries. He's a battering ram on that field. So, yeah, that's definitely a guy you want to keep an eye on as far as the reps.
Yeah,
same thing at the club. Load management. Can't be playing too much, baby. Strategic.
300 reps a season, Jacob. I'm sure Jacobs will be getting 300 carries at least.
We're talking about confetti. Unbelievable. Matt Schneidman, LaFleur said he'll do his best to give all 4 quarterbacks meaningful reps. Tim had to cut his damn Saturday preseason opener against the Jets. So again, he could be BSing here, right? Why's your face red, Emilio? What's wrong with you, man?
No.
LaFleur said he'll do his best to give all 4 quarterback meaningful reps. I'd like to take his word for it, but I don't know, man. I would be surprised if meaningful. What's meaningful reps for Jordan Love? You know what I mean? Does that mean he's going to go out there and
drive this game, a quarter next game, and then we'll go from there in the third game?
I agree.
So
I would expect to see more than a series from them in the first game, right?
Ooh.
1 or 2 series, maybe.
That's what that sounds like to me right there, Tim. Maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah.
So.
I think it depends on how the series goes. If they go out and just have like 2 or 3 plays, they look sharp. Sales one, some floater, go route to read. I think Matt's like, all right, that's good. That's enough I need to see right there.
Yeah, I wonder how much running the football we would do in a series or 2 with our ones out there, right? Clearly, he's going to want to see Jay Money throwing dimes to Matthew Golden and the fellas, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, Jake Ole says 2 drives. All right. So there's only 3 more open practices left at Ray Nitschke Field. Next week, practice at 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday. Joint practice in Indianapolis Thursday before the preseason game versus the Colts. And then the following week, regular practice Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Joint practice versus the Seahawks Thursday at 10:30 a.m. I'm just as excited about those joint practices than I am the preseason games, to be honest with you. That's the more important work there. And I believe you guys, are y'all going to the Colts game? Am I thinking right, fellas? Is that the plan?
We're going to the Seattle game.
Seattle game. That's right. Because that's actually in Indianapolis. And I thought about going up to the Colts game, catch a flight up to Indy and just sit through it and then get back the next day. But I don't know. I'd rather be here watching it and doing post-game shows. So, but that's going to be cool. You guys at the Seattle game, we'll get y'all to chime in afterwards and see what you think.
Got the hotel booked today, Tim.
Nice. Really?
Yeah, although I am a little upset because after we paid money, they told me the check-in is 3 p.m.
Ugh.
What the hell is that?
Well, you have to get early check-in then, brother. I don't know.
You got to call them up, Jacob. You got to get rid of that do-rag, comb your hair, and you know what I mean?
And pray they don't run a background check. And
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Jacob, he said you got to pray they don't run a background check.
No, dude, if anything, they do the background check. They'd be like, this is royalty. Let's put them. They got Oval Office president here. Upgrade me to a suite, baby.
They're going to say, sir, do you have your ID? And he's going to throw his Oval Office card down. There you go. You can keep that. All right. That's it. We're done. This show has sucked so bad. How in the world there's almost 300 people watching is beyond me. But I really do appreciate everybody tuning in. This was a lot of fun. Dennis shook. No, I seen your comment, Dennis. It cracked me up, dude. Pull up Dennis's comment there. Where's it at? Right here, look. Clayton reading like the kid in the back of the classroom that causes the teacher to grade on a curve. that is 100% factual right there. So, now we appreciate you. It's good to see you back in here, Dennis, for sure, man. You take it off the rails in the chat, and we got to be careful what we put on the screen, but we appreciate it. All right, last thing. We're over. I just want to show these real quick because Tim crushed these today. Tim, I'm going to give you the floor here, man. Get a couple of your vids that you had. Tell us what we're watching here, man. We'll crank it up a little bit while you're talking here.
Baron Sorrell here, getting some work in with Aaron Mosby and Brenton Cox Jr. here. That's with Coach Covington. And then, of course, you see Bane Gary just staring them down and owning every second of what's going on that field at all time.
Seriously, dude. He's like another coach, isn't he?
Man, and just the way he carries himself out there, and you can see it. It has an effect on these younger guys. I've seen it more than once. Baron Sorrell kind of going to Rashawn for some guidance and, some tips. And Rashawn is fully engaged, laser focused at all times. And everybody else in that room is too. So it's just kind of quick little clip here, seeing these guys get some work in.
I think I'm the only one that feels this way, but I've said since Baron Sorrell got to Green Bay, I feel like he's playing lighter than he did at Texas. Emilio, do you? And I think you disagreed with me when I brought that up, Emilio.
I thought he was a little bit thicker, but I like that they're working on this edge drill. Looks like they're head up on a tight end, and then you have the tackle coming over to press them, and we're working on splitting that. Because you're obviously worried about contain, but you can't get double team. Let's try to fight through. Mosby did a good job there, kind of get a little skinny, get in between. But no, I think Barron's just I think he's a little bigger. But I love that we have that kind of size on the edge. You lose Preston, let's still bring in some beef out there.
Yeah, definitely. And then we got another just 2 more videos, and we'll get out of here. This is another one. Tim, talk to us. What we got here, man?
Oh, this is really quick. Turn the sound up for this one. You'll like this one.
Right there in the middle.
Yeah. So as you can see, Rashawn almost took out Coach Covington there.
I noticed that. But look
at this.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Coach Covington is he not swagged out every practice? You just look at him, it's like, man, he's like one of the boys. You know what I mean? Like you could tell the guys respect him so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And he gets the most out of these players. Ball king here in the front too. You know, Coach Davis is another one. Coach Ogabasi brings the intensity. This group really, really works well together. And I think that's why we have that different vibe this year down on this end of the field during camp.
Yeah. I love that LBN was opposite of Rashawn there, just both getting after it, getting to the quarterback as quick as possible.
Yeah. Yep. And then last one here, this is actually from Matt Schneidman. He tweeted this out. Bo Melton has looked like an NFL cornerback in camp after switching from wide receiver. He'll play the position in the game for the first time on Saturday. Quote, "I'm hyped now, not going to lie." It's just a quick little clip of him talking.
I'm hyped now. I ain't lie. I'm ready to see, go get somebody else. We're going to get the same people every week. So I'm just excited to go out there, compete with somebody else. I'm hyped now.
It's awesome. And I'm sure you guys seen everybody talking about it in the chat earlier that Bo Melton's brother Max had quote tweeted a clip of him picking that pass off in practice yesterday. And He was so fired up for his brother, man. It was just really cool. So I'm rooting for Bo, man. Rooting for Bo for sure. So all right, that's it. Appreciate everybody, man. The chat was on fire. Listen, I got to give a special shout out and thanks to Boz for the super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. Hardy the Prophet with a couple supers. Thank you, Hardy. Good to see you, bub. Dan Mullen with a couple super chats here. Appreciate you, sir. United Bates with the $5 dono super, and then Bernie with the 20 spot. You guys are way too kind. Thank you all so much for your generosity. And we'll be back tomorrow for I'll probably do a live stream randomly throughout the day. I got to see whenever I get a break. I'll probably do like a 15-minute live stream on a topic. I'm going to do a little deep dive into some of the articles that was written this week. And then we'll go live tomorrow night. That's the plan, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. And then, of course, Saturday pregame show. So we got – what time's the kickoff on Saturday again, guys?
8, right?
8 our time, 7 their
8
time.
Eastern, 7 Central, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll probably go live at 6 p.m. Central, okay? And we'll give you guys an hour pregame show, and then we'll hit a postgame show afterwards as well. It'd be a lot of fun, man. So absolutely awesome, man, that we made it this football season, no doubt. Dan Mullen again here with the super chat, or is this earlier?
Oh, that was earlier.
Got it. All right. It popped down on the bottom, so. Yeah, and Bee's Knees, Jacob said, I'm here to get basketball updates. So there you go. Appreciate you, Jacob. You're an amazing person. So, all right, that's it, guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Packers.
Here we go. Bye, guys.